I have read a lot of books in 2021, and according to my latest library bookmark, library receipt paper, I've saved over $4,333 this year alone by using my library card. And I've saved over $13,000 since I began using my library. Not bad. Hey everyone, my name is Kassandra, and I'm an adult services librarian from the Ocean County Library. Today I'm going to be sharing my 2021 year in books with you all. 2021 was a huge reading year for me. I finally finished school, so for the first time in 6 years, I was able to read freely without the stress of assignments or deadlines, and it has felt amazing. I love it when people share what they're reading with me because it really helps me to branch out of my usual norm when it comes to reading. All books that I feature today can be checked out either physically or digitally from the Ocean County Library. Alright, so even though 2021 isn't officially over yet, I'm going to use what I've read this year to compile some personal book stats. Let's take a look at what I've been reading so far. I set a personal goal to read 75 books at the start of this year, and at the time of this recording, I have actually read 64. Not too bad. That's 15,158 pages. I've got about a month or so left to read those final 11 books. I have over 20 on my want to read list, so that shouldn't be too tricky. Now, out of the 64 books I've read in 2021, 36 books were for adults, 17 were YA, or young adult materials, and 11 were actually children's books. When it comes to reading children's lit, I like to think of the quote from C.S. Lewis, author of the Chronicles of Narnia, that states, "A children's story that can only be enjoyed by children is not a good children's story in the slightest." Luckily, I enjoyed most of the books that I read this year very much. Looking at my 64 books again, 9 were fiction, 14 were nonfiction, and 41 were graphic novels, my absolute favorite. I love graphic novels because they combine beautiful visuals with an engaging story, and that really brings a book to life for me. If you haven't tried out the world of graphic novels yet, you definitely need to start, and the Ocean County Library is a fantastic place to do so. Now that we've looked at some of my personal 2021 book stats, let's take a look at some of the things I've actually been reading this year. My favorites, my least favorites, most popular, least popular, and more. I used Beanstack, the Ocean County Library's one-stop shop for tracking your reading progress and activities, and also Goodreads to compile this data. And all books that I feature today can be checked out from the Ocean County Library. Let's get started with my favorite read of 2021. Friends Forever by Shannon Hale and Lei Win Pham. This coming-of-age graphic novel focuses on protagonist Shannon as she enters the 8th grade, where everything is changing for her. Her classmates and friendships are evolving, and no matter how hard she tries, Shannon struggles to find happiness through the changes. This autobiographical and beautifully illustrated story engages readers through Shannon's journey towards self-acceptance, and it is a beautiful addition to the best-selling Real Friends series that you definitely don't want to miss. Now on to my least favorite, and don't let my opinion sway you. This could very well be your next fave. The Sacrifice of Darkness by Roxane Gay and Tracy Lynn Oliver. Unfortunately, while this book was beautifully illustrated and had a very interesting premise, the plot fell a little flat for me. I felt there was little explanation about why the events that occurred in the story did. However, I am glad that I gave it a try though, because the art style of the book was beautifully illustrated, and I loved the character design. Now here is the longest book I read this year. One by Sarah Crossan at 434 pages. This one almost feels like cheating in a way, because One by Sarah Crossan is actually a novel in verse. This poetic novel is about two 16-year-old sisters, Grace and Tippy, who have 2 heads, 2 hearts, and each has 2 arms, but at the belly, they join. Told in alternating viewpoints, this story confronts the 2 16-year-old teens as they are forced to make a decision they never wanted to make. This story is a tearjerker, so be prepared with a box of tissues when you start this one. And of course, on to the shortest, You Poop Here by Paul Mizell at 32 pages. This adorable story, written by Paul Mizell, is an introduction to potty training and is perfect for our readers aged 2 to 5. I came across this book as I was processing our children's materials back in January, and its hilarious title caught my eye. The illustrations in this book are colorful and adorable, and it is perfect to share with our youngest of readers. Now on to the most popular book I read this year, according to Goodreads, Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman with 299,417 fellow readers. I cannot recommend this YA graphic novel enough. Two friends, Charlie, a highly strung, openly gay overthinker, and Nick, a cheerful, soft-hearted rugby player, meet at a British all-boys grammar school. Their friendship blossoms quickly, and Charlie develops feelings. Could it turn into something more? This book is the first of a multi-part series that features the developing relationship of Nick and Charlie, and I can't get enough. This is a beautifully illustrated graphic novel that is heartwarming and feel-good, while being relatable and impactful at the same time. And fun fact, this was also one of the highest rated of my books read this year according to Goodreads, so go place this one on hold at the Ocean County Library ASAP. According to Goodreads, the least popular material that I read this year was Six Flags Great Adventure by Harry Applegate and Thomas Benton, with only 49 readers shelved so far. A fun fact about myself is that I absolutely love roller coasters and spend a considerable amount of time at one of my favorite places, Six Flags Great Adventure. I noticed this book as I was tagging materials this summer, and I loved looking at pictures of the park's history. I loved seeing photos of rides I remembered from my childhood, and reading about how the park has changed. If you enjoy Ocean County history, or you share fond memories of Great Adventure like me, this is definitely one you'll want to check out. Here is my most surprising read of 2021, Flash Forward, an illustrated guide to possible and not so possible tomorrows by Rose Eveleth. This adult graphic novel serves as an exploration of potential tomorrows, and throughout its stories reveals how complicated, messy, incredible, frightening, and strange our future might be. Rose Eveleth poses provocative questions about our future, which are then brought to life by 12 imaginative and extremely talented graphic artists. This book is thought-provoking, compelling, and it blurs the lines between fantasy and potential reality. This book is available physically at the Ocean County Library, but also digitally on Hoopla Digital as well, so definitely check this one out. And finally, here is what I'm currently reading to try and complete my 2021 personal reading goal. Think Like a Pancreas, a practical guide to managing diabetes with insulin by Gary Shiner. This one feels like cheating in a way again, as this is admittedly a reread for me. However, this is an updated 3rd edition of the book, and it is a fantastic resource for anyone who is insulin dependent. Author Gary Shiner is an award-winning certified diabetes educator, master's level exercise physiologist, and person with type 1 diabetes since 1985. While it does not replace the guidance of a licensed medical professional, this book is authoritative and a great resource for those who are insulin dependent like me. I just want to take a moment to share that every book I've read this year has come from the Ocean County Library, and it is very easy to get a library card so that you can start a personal reading goal for 2022. Head to our website at theoceancountylibrary.org to get your library card and check out all the books featured today. I have read a lot of great books this year, and I'm always looking to add to my to-be-read list. What have you been reading this year? If you're looking for even more recommendations, check out our catalog on theoceancountylibrary.org. We have book recommendations available right on the page so you can easily find your next read. We also have many digital material resources available that you can access right now at home with your library card. Check these resources out and more on our website at theoceancountylibrary.org. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.